I've seen people get in fights. I've seen somebody chase somebody down with a baseball bat. I've witnessed... Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla Cosmos. I am a former English teacher turned digital nomad living here in Taiwan. And today we are going to be talking about the top 3 culture shocks that I faced when moving from the United States to Taiwan. The reason I put shocks in air quotes is because these aren't really things that were like really difficult for me to get used to, and in fact some of the ones I talk about are actually going to be more like cultural reliefs. I've been living in Taiwan for like a year and a half now. I was an English teacher on Kinmen for 1 year. I lived in Taipei for a couple of months, and now I am living in Kaohsiung. So I think I have a decent take on living in Taiwan, and I have definitely adjusted to living here pretty well. But I do want to talk about some of the things that when I got here I was like, whoa, huh? The number 1 culture shock I want to talk about today is safety. There were a lot of things that I used to have to do in the United States to make sure that I was taking care of myself, like watching my back at all times. If I was going into my apartment, I would always look behind me to make sure nobody was following me. If somebody knocks on your door, you always have to check who it is. You don't just open your door, because especially in Philadelphia, like there are people that will just knock on your door, and if you open your door, like you can just get robbed. Other things include like avoiding men in the street or just generally sketchy looking people in the street. And this is particular to living in Philadelphia, but even in the suburbs of the US, you know, you are definitely very aware of the crazy that happens around you. So when I came from the US and I came to Taiwan, it was very strange for me to be like, I don't have to be ready to gouge somebody's eyes out if gets real. Not that I've ever had to physically fight somebody in the street living in Philly, but I was literally like mentally preparing myself for the worst. Like if shit came down to survival, like I was not gonna fucking be me. And I know I'm laughing, but it's just because it sounds so ridiculous to me now, being like, that's what I used to feel like all the time. And now I don't have that reality. So in Taiwan, I had to unlearn a lot of these things that I used to do. Like I remember when I got my first apartment in Taipei, I would look behind my back while I would unlock my door. And then I had this realization, I was like, I don't have to do that. Nobody's following me home. So to me, literally just coming to a safe environment was a culture shock. And before you leave a comment and say,
you should know that, you know, just because Taiwan is generally a safe country, it doesn't mean that it's totally safe. Like you still need to watch your back.
Before you leave that comment, I've seen people get in fights. I've seen somebody chase somebody down with a baseball bat. I've witnessed assault here in Taiwan right in front of me. So before you leave a comment and tell me like you still need to watch your back in Taiwan, I know. Moving on to my second culture shock coming to Taiwan is the general calmness of people in Taiwan. There were so many times, there were situations and I thought like, how is this person not super irritated right now? Or why doesn't this person express how they really feel? And the more I understand, you know, like saving face culture, I get it. But sometimes I'm like, dude, somebody really deserves to get the fuck out. Oh my God, I'm such a horrible person. After I've been living here in Taiwan for a year and a half, I have like so much pent up rage because I'm not allowed to express anger, frustration. Like if I do, I really try to keep it to a minimum because I'm like, oh man, people are not only gonna like generally judge me, but then they're gonna judge foreigners as a whole. And I don't want people to be judging foreigners like that. And I also just generally don't want to make somebody in Taiwan feel like hurt that I was like rude to them, even if they clearly deserved it. Oh my God, this is so bad. Like, look, I apologize, but also like I have to put this energy somewhere. I need to take my energy out on somebody, but I'm not allowed to, or at least like culturally it's not acceptable. If you're a Taiwanese person doing it to another Taiwanese person, maybe it's more acceptable because, you know, like it's still your culture and like maybe you're acting out of line, but like when you're a foreigner and you're not adapting to the rules of how other people act in another country, then it's not really the politest thing. It's not the nicest thing. I think there's only like one time in Taiwan where like I've really gotten in somebody's face and was like a huge, like I was a huge, but he was being an idiot and following me around like a puppy dog, and I told him to leave me alone many times, and I just didn't give a fuck. I was just being mean to this guy. I was being really mean to him, but he wouldn't leave me alone. He wouldn't leave me alone. I told him to leave me the fuck alone, but he wouldn't. So in general, when it comes to this culture shock for me, it's like, I do like that people are generally calmer, they're generally nicer, like there's a lot less like potential for just conflict with people in your everyday life, but it's still kind of hard for me to adjust to because sometimes I really just want to like tell somebody how I feel and I can't. Moving on to the third culture shock that I faced when I came to Taiwan is the normalcy of ordering takeout and not having kitchens in apartments. Because food in Taiwan is so cheap, it's actually very common to do takeout, which I think is awesome. This is probably about how much I spend on food every day in Taiwan, and it's all takeout because I don't really have a kitchen. If you were to get takeout in the US for an entire day, this is about how much it would cost, like as a guesstimate. It's not easy to do takeout all the time cheaply in the US. If you have a lot of money, you can do takeout often in the United States, but if you don't have a lot of money, you're really gonna have to be cooking at home all the time. This comes to my second point of the fact that takeout is so common in Taiwan, and it also kind of works with the fact that if you're looking for especially like a studio apartment that is at a good price, you're probably not gonna have a kitchen. And it's nothing that shocks anybody. If anything, when I tell my friends back home and I say, oh yeah, I don't have a kitchen, they're always like, what? You don't have a kitchen? What? What? Because in the United States, if you were to view an apartment and it didn't have a kitchen in the US, that's very uncommon. But here, it's a pretty normal thing to not have a kitchen. And the reason for that is because it's super cheap to get takeout all the time, because that's really a part of the culture here in Taiwan. And I guess for me, it's the fact that I used to cook all the time at home. I know how to cook. I love to cook. I'm good at it. Like, that's an impression of me in the kitchen. I miss cooking food. I know that if I want to get an apartment with a kitchen, I can, and possibly where I live next, I will definitely have a kitchen, even if it costs a little bit more money to have one, because I miss cooking. So to me, I guess the shock is like not having a kitchen as a standard in any apartment that you might live in, and generally just being sad because I want to cook. But if you want to cook, you gotta spend more money to have a kitchen in your apartment. And there we have it. Those are my top 3 culture shocks that I dealt with when it came to moving in Taiwan. Let me know down below in the comments which culture shock shocked you the most. And thank you again for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button. I'm also accepting donations towards my channel at my link in the description to buy me a coffee, except you can buy me a bubble tea. Thank you so much again for watching this video. I hope that you learned something today, and I hope that I didn't seem too angry. Just chill, Kayla, just chill. I'm kidding. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.